What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about 401ks and whether you should contribute or not. That is not a simple question to answer because every 401k is different. Some companies match employees' contributions and some don't. And then again, everybody gets paid different amounts of money. Some people make $40,000, $50,000. Then some people make, $200,000. So depending on how much you make, depending on whether your employer contributes, and just depending on your overall plan for your household, it just varies. So I'm going to try to answer this question for some people in this video, and hopefully this video helps give you some guidance on becoming more financially secure. So before we get into it, we have to define a couple things. First thing we need to define is pre-tax dollars. So what are pre-tax dollars? Pre-tax dollars are or is money that comes out of your check before it's taxed. 401ks are typically one of those things. Then you have after-tax dollars or post-tax dollars. And that is money that comes out of your check after it's taxed. So something that would be post-tax dollars is like a Roth IRA. All right, I know a lot of people don't even know what that is, but we're getting to that. All right, so, or let's say maybe some life insurance. Some companies though are good and they'll take your life insurance out pre-tax dollars, but generally, like if you had some aftermarket or some supplemental life insurance or something like that, it is usually going to be post-tax dollars, so, and not pre-tax. So anyway, so now that we know what pre-tax dollars are, let's define what a 401k is. Okay, a 401k is a fund that employers have for their employees to invest in using pre-tax dollars. Okay, this is the life hack here, the pre-tax dollars. With those pre-tax dollars, you are able to invest in various funds. We'll just call them stocks for simplicity, but they're not exactly stocks, they're funds. But you can invest in various funds that you actually get to choose. Typically, when you say, hey, I want to contribute to a 401k, if you don't choose the fund, it'll choose it for you. But you can always go in there and change it at any time. And I'll tell you this, from my experience, from the clients that I've seen, and then from my own personal experience when I worked at Comcast, the default fund that they put you in is usually garbage. Okay, you want to change that. And I can't tell you exactly what to put the fund in because every brokerage firm is different and every employer uses a different brokerage firm. I know Comcast uses Fidelity. And even still, you're going to have different funds within your account that you can choose from. So all I can say is choose the fund that has the lowest fees and the highest percentage payout. Okay, it gets the most interest. So that's that. Now, a 401k, we're going to continue with our definition of a 401k. You're able to withdraw the funds after you retire or after you become of retirement age. And in some cases, you're able to pull money from it before then, but you will get taxed and you also have penalties. And then in some instances, you won't have any tax or penalties at all. It just depends on how you withdraw it. But we're not going to be talking about withdrawals in this video. We're just sticking with contributions. So hopefully that gives you a clear idea of what a 401k is. And now let's get into whether you should contribute or not. Now, a lot of companies do contribute to 401ks. They match up to a certain percentage, whatever the employee contributes. So let's use Comcast as an example because that's what I know. Comcast matches 6% of employee contributions. Now, if your job is going to match you, to me, it's a no-brainer. Then you should contribute at least what they're matching. At least do that. When I worked at Comcast, I contributed 6% because they're going to match 6%. I also contributed 6% for another reason, but we're going to get into that in a second. Another thing I do want to highlight, I have a list here of the companies with the highest matches, okay, for 401ks. And I just wanted to go over and shout out Southwest. I mean, it's two people I can think of off the top of my head that I know work for Southwest. And look, y'all, they contribute 9.3%. All right. Actually, I know three people. One of them is a pilot. Like, so, I don't know that if any of them are contributing at all. They need to start because 9.3%, think about it. If you put this money aside in a 401k, you put up 9.3% of your check, they're going to match it. I mean, if you made $100,000 a year, that means you can contribute $9,300 a year, and your job is going to also give you a free $9,300. Like, why would you not double your money? To me, that's a no-brainer. Now, there are caps on how much you can contribute to a 401k. And currently, the cap is $19,500. That can change, but right now for 2021, I know for 2020, it was $19,500. Now, that means if your company, let's say it was Southwest, for example, they matching 9.3%. If you made $100,000, the max they give you a year is $9,300. You're almost right at that cap. Now, you cannot invest or contribute $19,500 yourself and expect your company to do the same. It's on both sides, so you have to weigh that. Now, most people don't make enough to even be thinking about that, but I did want to throw that out there. You won't get almost 40,000 if you put in 19.5 and you think your company gonna put in 19.5. They're not gonna do that. It's just up to 19.5, and that's the cap. Okay, so they contribute, they match up to the cap. All right, that's that. That's one side of the coin. If your company matches, I think of course you should contribute, even if it's just 1 or 2%. Why not double your money? To me, it makes no sense. Even with the penalties and all of that, if you do the math, if they're matching, even with the penalties and all of that, you can have it match once it hits your account. If you withdrew it, you would still be more profitable as long as they match, even with all the penalties and all that. So again, if they're matching, you should contribute. Now, another thing we have to consider is how much you get paid. If you are single and you make like $70,000, yeah, well, I mean, me personally, based on my household and what I want to do with myself, if I were single and made 70 grand, I wouldn't contribute. I would put my after-tax dollars in a stock because I would probably get more money doing that than investing in some 401k, and I couldn't really touch the money. Now, you also have to think about what you want to do. So you can use 401k funds to finance things. Like a friend of mine, that's how he buys all his cars. He'll see a car he wants, he'll go withdraw it from his 401k as a loan, and he'll buy the car cash and then just pay his loan back on his 401k because it's going to offer lower fees and a lower interest rate. So he ends up paying less for the car over the term of 5 years, which is smart. So you really have to think about what you're going to be doing. Me, I just buy my cars cash and I don't do none of the financing stuff. So for me, that won't work. But for you, it might be something to consider. Now, I want to give you guys an example of how you can really hack this thing using your pre-tax dollars here. So I'm going to use Comcast as an example. So if we come over here and we look at the IRS website, we're on irs.gov. Now, irs.com, there's the irs.com, that is not the government website, irs.gov, and we're looking at the tax brackets here. There are other little websites that aren't the IRS that puts the stuff in a nice, clear chart. I didn't want to do that for you guys because you want to always get your information from the horse's mouth. If you go to irs.com or Bloomberg or something like that and you're looking up tax brackets, if they're wrong and you start, modifying your personal finances to coincide with what you read on that site, that's on you when it comes tax time and the IRS audit you or whatever for making a mistake. But if you get it straight from the IRS website, you want to take a screenshot of the thing. So if they mess up, you can always go back and be like, no, look, I got it from your website. You know, that's on y'all. So anyway, let's use Comcast as an example because at Comcast, they paid us $42,000. And we see right here on this line, for incomes over $40,525, you pay 22% in tax. Now, if I put 6% of my income into my 401k, which is pre-tax dollars, let's do 42,000, and we're going to subtract 6%. That now makes my annual income $39,480. And what does that do? That drops my tax bracket. See, so I'm now down here and I only pay 12% in tax now. So this actually gets you an extra 10% in income because now you owe 10% less towards taxes. But here's the thing. If you don't adjust your W-4, you won't see that money every check. You'll just see it at the end of the year once you file. And then you'll get a big fat refund maybe, but you want to make sure you adjust your W-4 accordingly if you are going to do this. The crazy thing is when I worked at Comcast, a lot of people didn't do this. I was telling people, look, hey, look, I'm putting up 6% just because they're matching it. Now, I didn't even get into that here, but it also lowers us down into a lower tax bracket. So check this out. If I work for Comcast and I'm getting $42,000 a year and I put 6% into a 401k, Comcast is matching that 6%. Plus now I owe 10% less in taxes. My little 6% contribution got me an extra 16% in income. I didn't have to do anything extra for it. So it's up to you. You have to really look at how much you make, and then you need to look at what the tax brackets are, and you need to see, you need to do the math. How much do I need to put into this thing to bump me down into a lower tax bracket so that I can maximize my dollars, okay? That's pretty much it for this video. I thought it was gonna be longer, but hopefully that was like clear and concise. I'm trying to think, did I miss anything? No, I don't think I missed anything. If you're confused after watching this video, I would say find a good financial planner or financial advisor and get their help with your personal finance planning, because hopefully you saw from this video, you can maximize your dollars. Like you can squeeze an extra 10 to 16% or more. Like if you worked at Southwest and you were getting paid $42,000, man, if you contributed 9.3%, you would actually earn almost an extra 20% in income. That's crazy. So, it just depends on what your company does and how much you make, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you guys have any questions, ask them in the comments. Give me feedback on these videos, because oftentimes I can't, predict what you guys don't know. So I kind of use terms sometimes that just are natural to me. So if something, kind of went over your head, do not feel embarrassed. Say something in the comments. The more feedback I get, the better the videos will be, all right? So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.